Hello everyone, today I want to discuss whether our world is real or virtual. I ask this question because of a movie called The Matrix in which robots arrange for humans to live in a huge simulated world. Just like the characters in computer games live in computers, human beings live in the virtual world, although they feel that they are physically conscious. In fact, all these are just the simulation of robots and the result of program operations. They have no idea that there is a real world outside their own world. In addition, a sentence in the Buddhist scriptures, form is emptiness and emptiness is form, which also made me have the same question. People have many kinds of understanding of this sentence. And my understanding of this sentence is that the tangible world is the nothingness world, and the nothingness world is the tangible world. The Buddha may have revealed to us the truth of the world through this sentence. So is there a possibility that our world is a virtual product, and everything is not real? Our birth and death are not real, and all kinds of pain and joy are not real. Even our Earth, the solar system, the Milky Way, and even the whole universe are all virtual beings. When you hear this, please don't think I'm rhetoric. Please listen to me go on. The ancient Greek philosopher Plato's key metaphor is one of the earliest human thoughts about the real and the virtual. This analogy is about a group of prisoners tied up in a cave, with their backs to a bonfire, thrown into a wall and unable to turn. All they can see is some projection on the wall. They thought the shadows were real when one of the prisoners was free to walk. After seeing the bonfire, I finally realized that what I saw was nothing, and then I went to see those projections. But I didn't get used to it. When the man walked out of the hole, a completely different world appeared in front of him. The dazzling sun shines on all objects and creates shadows of all objects. He realized that this was the real world. This metaphor has aroused numerous debates and thoughts among philosophers for more than 2,000 years. Whether we human beings live in the real world or in the shadow cast by a higher ideal world. Today, physicists have traced our universe back to the moment of the Big Bang, but they still can't answer how the Big Bang came into being, or know the world outside the universe. In a sense, we are still a group of prisoners living in the caves, and none of us can walk out of the cave. Some physicists are pondering whether our universe, including ourselves and nature, is a projection of a higher dimensional world. Are we like humans in the Matrix? Although we feel physically conscious, all of this is nothing more than a simulation of the wisdom of higher dimensional space creatures, the result of the running of the program. Hearing this, some people may ask, we can truly touch the hard substances in the world. We can hug each other, feel each other's temperature. We can cry and laugh. Is all this not real? So what is real? In fact, when we are in our own world, no matter how many real feelings we have, we can never judge whether the world is real or virtual, which is an eternal paradox in the field of philosophy. In 1981, the American philosophical thinker Hilary Putnam expounded a hypothesis about the brain in the jar in one of his books. A man was operated on by scientists, and his brain was cut off from his body and put into a vat of nutrients to keep the brain alive. The nerve endings of the brain were connected to a computer. The computer sends messages to the brain according to the program to keep him under the illusion that everything is completely normal. To him, it seems that people, objects, and the sky all have their own movements, and physical feelings can be input, because the brain in the jar receives exactly the same signal as the brain in the head, and it's the only way he communicates with the environment. From the brain's point of view, he is not at all sure whether he is a brain in the furnace or a brain in the light. Nor can he be sure whether everything in the world is real or nothingness. Putnam continues to ask in the book, we can try to imagine that there is not only one brain in the void. In fact, all human beings are the brain in the void. If this assumption is true, then we live completely in the virtual world. So, is the virtual world possible? The computer has not been invented for less than 100 years, but computer technology has been well developed so far. Meteorologists used it to simulate weather changes, and astronomers use it to simulate the formation of stars and galaxies. Biologists use it to simulate the activities of organisms. And the practice of simulating a real world has long been tried, which is called video games. In video games, programmers create a virtual world in which they have their own laws of physics, laws of nature, and causality. In recent years in the game, NPC has his own ideas, can make their own judgments, can interact with players, and even determine their own fate in the game. It is conceivable that with the development of computer technology, the NPC in the game will become smarter and smarter. They not only begin to have their own thoughts, but also begin to have feelings, and even begin to have consciousness. So what do these NPC think of the world they live in at this point? Will they feel like us that their existence is real and the world they live in is real? It can be predicted that when the quantum computer technology is mature, it is not a distant goal to use quantum computer simulation to build a virtual world mentioned above. So, since human beings can simulate a world, it is entirely possible that our world is simulated by others. If the above assumptions are true, then this is even. It can help physicists solve some of the ultimate problems. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned that scientists could not answer how the Big Bang happened, or know events outside the universe. But if we assume that our world is a virtual world, then the problem will be easily solved. Why was there a big explosion? Because the Big Bang is a process that simulates the process of creating the world. What was the universe before the Big Bang? Before the Big Bang, it was the program that created our world. Before the program created the world, there was nothing in the movie Matrix with a classic shot. The protagonist of the movie, you have to be guided to complete his fateful choice. Either take the blue pill, forget everything, live in the virtual world forever, or take the red pill, leave the virtual world and walk into the real world. Finally, Neo chose to take the red pill, walked into the real world, and fulfilled his mission. So, if we really lived in a virtual world and were given a blue pill and a red pill, which one would you choose to swallow? Alright, that's all for today. I'll see you next time.